So it's always been mystery so far as the genre. But then I was wondering before I saw your entire the entire series. I hadn't looked at all the other titles yet. I was just reading the current one, Murder on the Left Bank. And I wondered, does she always do murder? And then, of course, I looked at your other books, and every one is murder. So why murder?
Why not?
Well, because there are so many other types of crime, right? So you could have had Aimée fighting a whole bunch of different things. So what, or is that maybe just the answer? Why not? It just worked, and it's fascinating, and you just went with it. Maybe there wasn't a reasoning behind it. It just worked.
All the stories come organically. So Murder in the Marais, it was like, and then when you think of a murder mystery, the stakes have to be high to make it compelling, and a compelling story for the reader. And what is the thing what happens when someone steps over the line and kills someone? Everything has changed. Everyone's life has changed, and there's a ripple effect, and it just goes beyond. That's sort of the ultimate crime, murder.
Right.
And you may do it because you've been, committing crimes in other ways, and now someone has to stop it, and they step over the line. So it just sort of came like that. It raises the stakes, and the people that do it are probably desperate. They're pushed to the limit. It makes for a good villain too. Yeah.
Do you think, would that be your answer to this question, or would you have something else to add? Because my next question was going to be, and like I said, maybe you just answered it, maybe not. Why do you think as a culture, and maybe it's not even just a culture, maybe as humans, why do you think we're so almost obsessed with murder? And what I mean is, we look at the TV shows, every other TV show is a detective or even a hospital or a police or every other show, practically on like network TV at least. And it's always fascinating to me because it's not just people who love violence or who love horror that are watching those shows, right? It's very mainstream, likes murder. There's a fascination with murder. So is it just kind of what you just said? It's the extremity, it's the fascination with the psyche, or do you think there's more to it, sort of culturally societal?
Yeah, I think it's a way to get answers, that you can see in a book, in a show, that you do get an answer, and in real life we don't get answers. Often. And nothing is really resolved. So there is a finite. Plus, it's also escapism. Let's face it, this is entertainment. It's a way to watch something horrific happen in the, reading in your bed, safe, or, on your couch watching. You can, vicariously, enjoy it. And I think they're really good books. I mean, let's face it, every novel has a secret or some crime usually at the core. It's, and maybe it's not focused on the murder, but there's something there.
Right.
That's why we're reading.
Yep.
And it's a way. I don't like gratuitous violence. I don't read it. I don't write it. Mm-hmm. And I think it's more about suggesting and hinting.
Yes.
But it's also that when something like this happens, what do you do? What would you do? We can all ask ourselves that.
And we probably can't help ourselves even from asking ourselves that.
Right.
Right. If we're there and you've drawn me in, I might not necessarily want to be there looking at this crime scene, but if I'm there with you and you've taken me there, I don't have a choice. And a part of me is probably like, oh, but then a part of me, like at a car wreck, I can't turn away because I'm fascinated and it's touching deep inside on different levels. And
it's the ultimate crime. Yeah. You've lost someone, your whole life has changed. What do you do? What if I often say, I do a lot of writing workshops, and I say, think about this. You're driving in Marin at night. You've had maybe 2 glasses of wine, one over the limit.
Right.
It's dark and you're driving out from a party, you're fine. And someone has run out into the road. What if you hit them?
Yeah.
What would you do? Well, of course you'd stop. Of course, get out your
you
cell
call
phone.
the police right away. Probably.
But what if you?
What if no one is around?
Limit? No one's around. What if you're over the limit? What if you never really know?
You've got a family.
You've
got to think of your family. You don't want.
You can't. You have too many DUIs already.
Exactly. The person's already dead. Yeah. Right. It's not like you can't bring them back. Mm-hmm. So do you really need to call the police?
And they'll see where the phone, cell phone tower is, and they'll find your number and all that. But
yeah. Better just to drive on and just Okay.
What would you do?
What would you do? But that is the point, though, is that we can't help but put ourselves in those situations.
Yeah.
No matter how horrific, and it's probably like a roller coaster, right? Mm-hmm. We choose to do it because there is the thrill, there is the rush. Only
or we're compelled to do it.
Or we're compelled, yeah.
Because we can't go back. We can't, we hit someone. We can't change that,
yeah.
But and again, you're reading this in the safety, wherever you are on BART, at home.
Yeah.
You can. We have that kind of, I don't know.
Encapsulate us, or yeah.